class and you come back, there are 1,000 thoughts that are in your mind about the way your class went, the success of the class, what were the misses, and where you could have, had more interaction with students. And sometimes we want to capture those aha moments of ours, but we do not know where to and when to. A very simple thing that has worked for us is what we're going to share with you today, and it actually spans over our experience of, I would say, both of our experience of more than 3 years now. So Jyoti and I will be your host today. Since it's not loading up, till it loads up, let me just present using my desktop, and I think you should be able to see the desktop now.
No, not yet, Manakshi.
Okay. Let me know when you can see the screen so that I'm comfortable saying that moving forward.
Yeah, we can
And
see it now.
awesome. So today's Tech Talk Tuesday focuses on let your voice be heard, as I said. And it's always been a collective effort by Team Pedagogics, today being led by Jyoti and myself. You know us pretty well by now, and we are a team at the Pedagogics and we work together. You can connect with us on Twitter, you can write to us an email, or just help us out by connecting on Facebook. So we're there. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about today is WordPress for blogs, or why we switched to WordPress, or actually started my journey with WordPress. WordPress for Education is a very simple platform which gives you a place to share your voice. And the first time I thought of blogging, I thought it was very exciting. At the same time, very, very scary, because you're going to talk to the world. You don't know what language is the right language, what type of a script should you write for it. So yes, it was very confusing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share our website with you. It's now called deep. It now the URL stands as deeppedagogics.com, but we started as deeppedagogics.wordpress.com. So when we began, all we did was we just started sharing our stories, and it was a very simple story of sharing whatever we were learning. So WordPress is a place where you can start sharing straight away, because it's a very, very simple platform. And what you should know about WordPress is basically the sign up, login, and dashboard, which is like, super simple, in the sense that you should have a Microsoft account to sign up. You log in through your Microsoft account, whether it be Office 365 or your individual account, and you have the dashboard. Then you have appearances and widgets, which are on the sidebars, and you have plenty of options over there. And of course you have categories and tags. Now tags is a word which is used very simply and loosely here, but tags is what will help you catch your post. So your posts are very important because you speak your heart out there. So you can create either posts or pages or both, just like you do on Facebook or any other social media. But what is most important is you keep tagging. How do you tag here is super simple, that in your features, I'll take you to the screen to show you further, but on your screen on the right hand side, it will give you added features. In those features, you have to type in the tags. Your tag should be as simple as education. So you write the word education and press enter, it will automatically become a tag. You type something like educational technology, even if it is 2 words, you just give a space and write. You don't have to join the 2 words, you have to write education space technology and press enter, and that will become a tag. It's as simple as that. So the good part about WordPress is not every comment that comes has to become public. So you have the choice to approve or just decline approving it. And you can even schedule your post. So you let's say you've written about 4 things, or you've written let's say post 1.1, and then 1.2, and the next point, and the next one, because your one post will become too long and it's very boring for readers to read a very long blog. So it's always good to break it down into pieces. So what you can do is you can write everything in one go, because your thought process is on, and you could schedule them for release later. So these are some of the things that you must keep in mind. And WordPress interface looks As simple as this. I don't think anyone in the audience will need any explanation here yet. I'll just give you a very, very basic one. I'll drive you through. Your name comes over here, the way you want to display it, and there's a little logo or a picture that you can give. Put a title, start writing. Just double click and start writing. These are the simple formatting tools that you have, and you have various options available. You can smart it out as you go. Don't just think too much about it. Honestly, we just did not think about what we were writing. We just wrote a title and we just started writing about it. Next, most important is the post settings. Now, these settings are of utmost importance because what you need to understand is you need to fill in each and every tag out over here. Let's say status or categories and tags, like I just explained you. Featured image. The image which is going to go out in the social media post is most important. So that should be an impactful one. And then please activate your Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, any and every social media links that you have. Please activate them here. So as soon as you write a post and you say write or you say publish, the moment you publish it, you will all your social media will automatically display it out. So you don't need to go yourself onto these various social media. It's going to happen all by its own. So that's the best part of it. And if you look at this bell on the top right hand corner, it shows me a dot, which means, of course, there's a notification. Yes, no prizes for guessing that, but I just wanted to bring it to your notice. Moving forward, this is what our Pedagogics, one of the posts looks like. So I have a few comments that I've received. If I click on that dot, this is what gets displayed. So it gives me a list of all the people who've been putting in comments, and I know there are people sitting in this window also who have been posting comments here. So we are more than happy to see your comments coming in. But the good part is, if you see, look over here, it says approved, which means I can approve it, I can spam it, I can trash it, or I can like it the way I want to use it. So that's the whole idea about using blogs. Bringing it to your classroom, plenty of ideas, 4 of them displayed here. Assign homework. Whenever you have given your students any homework, we have tried using WordPress for giving homeworks, and it works really well because later the students can come and comment on previous work, plus they can tell you that, that assignment was like really good or really interesting. This is just a site that I used. This is what helped me. This is what worked for me. This is what did not work for me. It's a casual talking platform for the child, but right along you get documenting everything that's on your child's mind. Then assign notebook or project homework in a greater detail and become paperless. You don't need to use paper anymore. But the best part is that sometimes my students have done something wonderful in the class, and those wow and aha moments are something that I would love to share, and your students would also want to share. So what they would do is, ideally, if they had a camera in the class, they would just click the moment and Snapchat it, or Instagram it. So you as a teacher can do all of that, but rather I would say you better blog it up. If you blog it up using WordPress, you're actually showing the world just in one write-up how vastly you are experiencing an aha moment in your class. And of course, you can flip the classroom with it. You could give video lectures and the students can keep commenting on it. So these could be interesting homeworks for you to give. 3 main factors what you need to keep in mind are: publish regularly. If you do not publish regularly, your audience, who might not be really hooked to you, but then they do look up for posts from you, they just disconnect. And disconnect audience is something that you would not be looking for, I'm sure. Share content. It's very important that you share content. Just writing something, or just about giving them giving them a next step, or next step, or some kind of a tip or a takeaway is very important. Therefore, share content, not only views or your the comments. Then manage subscribers and comments. Most WordPress will never publish all by itself the comments that you get. Therefore, please visit your settings or your admin block regularly so that you're able to manage all these things. I'll pause here for questions before I take you to this site. So let me come back to see, Jyoti, do we have any questions?
Not really, no. Not as yet. We don't have any questions, Manakshi. So I think we can go ahead.
Alright, so let me now take you to our website. It looks like this. You can still see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So dpedagogics.com looks something like this, and what you see here are our posts. Yeah, we post very, very regularly, and it's a real good high. Just a few days back, we got a notification that we have already posted 50 posts. So it was a really good moment for us. And what you will see is, if you look at any of these posts, you will see we share much more than just writing about something. You'll not find much of a write-up, but you will find the whole post accentuated with pictures, with links, with videos, with comments from other people, so that you're sharing with the world what other people think about stuff rather than only sharing what's on your mind. We started with just sharing these blogs in the beginning, and eventually we went into making it a website. Of course, we had to buy the whole interface for that matter. But if you go to dpedagogics, and if I click here, I can show you that we have plenty of things which are of much meaning to each and every one of us. Jyoti, why don't you talk about this a bit till I can catch up?
Okay. So, we've been blogging, as Meenakshi is saying, the good idea is, like, I will just give you some suggestions. If you attend a training, if you do something new in your classrooms, so these are some good moments to blog. You should not be thinking, yeah, you have to write an article, I need a lot of time. It could be just about, 200 words, 300 words, nothing more. So, it's a kind of, I just wrote it also, it's like you're journaling your journey basically. You're writing, whatever you're going through every day. Sometimes you have a very good experience with your students, you did something new. So just come back, or within school, if you have some 10-15 minutes, just blog it. You don't have to worry about that the language has to be perfect or anything. Blogging is, expressing yourself, expressing your views, what you felt, what you did. So that's how it should be. So don't make it too formal. As in, when you feel like writing, you have something in your mind, it's better to blog it. And you don't have to publish it right away. You can always, wait for a day or two, add something more to it, and then publish it. The moment you start writing, it'll save it as a draft. So you don't have to worry that people are looking at it and how do I write. So start writing your thoughts, and then you can publish it later. So it's a great way to do stuff. And then, because we all tend to forget what we have done. We had gone somewhere, we attended a workshop, we did something interesting in our classroom, but obviously every day is so busy, we tend to forget what we did or what we felt like that day using a particular tool in Microsoft. So it's a very good way to keep a journal of things, and then 2 years later you'll read that blog and you'll feel good about it. Oh yeah, we did that, I had forgotten about it. And then for people to share, you're sharing your thoughts. Everybody's, all your circle, in your community, people are reading it, and it's a good way to express yourself and share your knowledge, share your thoughts. That's what it is. Any other questions on blogging? No more questions.
Okay. So that actually brings us to one of the journeys that we have taken over the last 3 years, and we have absolutely loved it. And I think we've done some very, very meaningful projects. You can see what I'm talking about, and I know you would have guessed we're going to talk about Skype in the classroom with so many badges and so many certificates lying awaiting your students and you. I don't think there should be any stopping as to why we are not doing this. Let's just go over what's available. We all know by now that Skype-a-thon is just around the corner. It's November 28th and 29th. That you should mark in your calendar. It's about 28 days to go, and we are absolutely excited about this. What we really would appreciate is if you can start planning now. Why we've touched upon this is because I know you all know about it, but what we have been observing in the kind of feedback that we've been hearing is documentation is everything. Therefore, we have taken this opportunity to share with you how not only to connect, but how also to document your journey. That's why blogging first, and now coming on to why should you be looking at Skype in the classroom from a different angle. I know you're all set to move across the world. You have to help Microsoft education teams to literally travel 10 million miles, virtual miles together. And well, I think it's not a difficult thing to do, so I'm sure you'll be making your connections. It is very easy to participate. It's just for any newcomer in the window. So schedule a Skype call with another classroom or fascinating Skype guest speaker, or have a mystery Skype, or go ahead for Skype collaborations, or even virtual field trips. Take your pick. Everything is awaiting for you. But do remember your dates are November 28th and 29th. Those are the 2 days when you must try and make a connection. You can make a connection through education.microsoft.com. You know where to go over there, and or you can even go to Facebook page where we have our MI experts, or make a connection on Twitter. Use social media to your advantage here. It's really important. And most important, where will your classroom travel? You must share your travel plans on Twitter. Use the hashtag Skypeathon to see what your posts are. Just you can keep looking over here because this gets updated like anything. So if you want to see your post on education.microsoft.com, this is the place. Please share your travel plans before, during, and after. All the three. Jyoti, anything that I'm missing out here? How would you like to add?
Yeah, I was just thinking that I will just add to it like what we are thinking of doing on Skypeathon, I'm still in the process of formulating the final format for this, what I was, because as most of you know that I am very, very passionate about, saving environment and climate. So we as team, yeah, we are thinking of, doing this project of, we are facing this problem of excessive trash in our cities. I'm sure many of you see the news, especially in Delhi, in big cities. So what I want you to do is, like, as students, to find some real world problems by connecting to students of other countries where they are treating trash in such a way that they are using it usefully, somewhere to make roads, somewhere to recycle it properly. So that's what the big idea is. I will share the details as and when they're ready, which will be very soon, within a week. So that's what the big idea is. I want our students to do something meaningful through the Skypeathon, where we can find some solutions to our problems which we are facing here. So that's what it is.
Yeah, you must stay glued in to posts from Jyoti and from all of us. You will also see soon many things, more things coming up around Skypeathon on social media. So stay glued. Please make your connections and make yourself available, make your classrooms available so that people are able to connect with you. I want to share over here a project that we did and how we organized. More important here is again documentation. How we organized the whole project was what was the highlight of the whole thing. The whole idea was that we wanted to capture Christmas across the globe. We know that all classrooms across the globe celebrate Christmas, and that actually is a 10-day process, and it starts somewhere around 15th of December that people start thinking about celebrating Christmas. So those 10 days of Christmas is what we tried capturing, and we started making a connections way back in November. In fact, in October itself, we had started floating an Excel sheet where we wanted people to join us. And how we went about it, let me just show you the OneNote notebook that we have. This is a OneNote notebook where we hosted the whole project. In the sense, this was common to all. This has been shared across the globe with people. People in more than I think 24 countries have access to this, and multiple teachers in one country have an access to this notebook. And this was the introductory page. Then there was an Excel sheet where they would schedule, where what our Indian educators had done was, according to India time or the IST, we had listed the timings, and we had made a whole list of what all timings at what time slots which teachers available, and then we shared it with the world. So always give yourself a priority. Do not think about whether you'll be able to make a global connection or not, the time zones are right or not, doesn't really matter. Sometimes I think your thought is your priority, and you must put in your time slots, your available time slots, and then think about what's more suitable to others. So others match their timings to us. Then of course we were open to inviting them on their timings, and some of our classrooms made adjustments. We also had the boarding schools who took over the US zone, and they connected over there. So it was a beautiful, beautiful project which is very much talked about. In fact, let me show you. If you bring it up, yeah, so if you bring it up, you will see capturing Christmas across the globe Pedagogics coming into various pages. Why? Because we have shared it in many, many places, and it's a very easy plan. But what we did was we gave them all kinds of learning objectives. We give them appointments. So a detailed lesson plan of what our whole session should look like, so that there are no confusions. And of course, they have the liberty to just change whatever they want the way they want. So we had also given many resources, and I will take you through those resources. But here is what happened. So we had dates aligned like this. So all kinds of sessions were held between two classrooms, and our various symbolisms and color scheme helped them match up. This is a glimpse into Ridge Valley, connecting with a very famous, I think, MI expert from South Africa. So they had real good fun. Then they had appreciative letters coming in from parents, which they gave in. So in absence of this notebook, this could not have been captured in one place. So it's absolutely imperative that you have notebooks running, which will have multiple pages where people will post what they've been doing. They can hold concentrations, they can hold comments and say what they liked, what they disliked. And also, if you get into this, you will see many pages which will tell you about how our project was taken forward in various classrooms. People have talked about it, and our page talks about it, our blog talked about it. Every day we were posting how our whole project has how our project has actually progressed. This was the way in which they could actually look at the Excel sheet to schedule their Skypes, and then eventually we even captured everything in a swing. So people had an excellent glimpse. If you look at the worldwide platforms, and if you just look up on the web to say that you want to see sway on capturing Christmas, you will be able to find it, and I can even push in a link to see if you want to see that. Let's just try and Google it up for a change, and let's see where it takes us. But I'm just trying to give you various glimpses of how all the tools came together to make this project a success. It was there on Facebook, it was there on Twitter, so you can go on any social media and type capturing Christmas across the globe. You will find glimpses of capturing Christmas everywhere. So the whole idea here is do in ways which is more capturable, which is more available, and which is more accessible by a different audience. Till I make this accessible to you, or make you Jyoti, can I request you to help us understand this better?
Sorry. Yeah. So actually, what Manakshi is trying to say is, like, one has to be very well prepared to do such things. Journal it, make notes of it, go in a very systematic way. As she said, when you're sharing, when you're doing a project, make an Excel sheet. If you want to collaborate with certain people, make a record of it. And obviously, keeping time is a very important part. Keeping time, what time zone you are in, that's super important, because sometimes we want to do something with US, but actually it's not actually possible. If either we are a boarding school or they are staying very late in the school, it doesn't happen otherwise. So keeping time zone in mind is something very important, and plan ahead. You cannot right now start planning in your mind with which classroom, what do I want to do. Look on the MEC. MEC has humongous opportunities for Skypeathon already on the website. So start going through the website and look at different various options, what you want, what you're studying in your classroom. Maybe you want to connect something to that, or a mystery Skype, or a virtual trip, whatever you feel is right for your students, the age group, everything keep in mind. So basically plan ahead, don't say like, okay, now 2 days left, oh, I've not done anything, so I need to find a classroom. It's very difficult to find something that way, then it's just for the heck of it, you do it, it's nothing meaningful happening at that last minute. So please request you to start, planning ahead according to what grades you teach, what subject you teach, what you want your students to, what experience you want your students to have. Depending on that, please plan ahead. That's what I'll advise, but don't, it's a great opportunity. It's like, it's good to get into that mode, talk to your students about it. Maybe they will give you ideas. Sometimes we get such wonderful ideas from our students, which we never think, so that's what it is, just plan ahead. And we are almost on time, Meenakshi. It's
Yeah, so
4:57.
yeah. So here is the Excel sheet which we use. It's as simple as date, time slot, city, name, email ID, Skype ID. If you can see, we have everything recorded here. The number of students you should expect, the grade level that you should expect. So it's easy to make these connections. It's really not difficult, and we really, really look forward to you people actually participating in this. And yes, Sonia, thank you for reiterating the fact that documentation is of utmost importance. It should start with a OneNote notebook. Everything should rest in a OneNote notebook. You can link a Sway to that. You can link an Excel sheet to that. You can link forms to that. Now that forms are there, because this is 3 years old, so we never had forms at that time, but this is how we would like to go about it. And I think Jyoti is right in pointing out that the time is almost up and we're almost going to overshoot our time. But before we close today's session, there's a very interesting, our whole team has been discussing the topic that we want for our next Tech Talk Tuesday. And what I really like is what Amit had put up, saying that Windows create a fall update. I think all of us need to have a Windows update. So for next session, you can definitely look forward to having an update, insight into update, and see where it takes you, and what all is in store for you. There are a lot of accessibility features that are available in the new update, and we've already been updating you with many things, so you can expect that. Following which, we have more very interesting sessions coming up, which is basically like personal branding. Personal branding is absolutely important, and also one on creating e-portfolios. So these are some of the sessions that we've been thinking of. We will really appreciate if you can push in a few more sessions for us to think about, to bring to you. So yeah, we are very excited that you're always around, and thank you so very much for encouraging us on through our poll. So yeah, we are very excited about all of this. Yeah, Shafali, you want one on Remix? Remix will be released somewhere in mid-November. That's why we are holding it back. That's on our mind. Definitely that will come in. And Jyoti's pushed in the promo code for today. Like we said, for every Tech Talk Tuesday, you will get a promo code to redeem. So please go ahead and redeem this code. The code is available to you here. And what you can do is you can go and redeem this on education.microsoft.com and on your points. Okay, you have 3D paint. Oh, you've done that. So you want to do a 3D paint session? We're happy to have you also as a host. So yeah, please do let us know. So thank you so very much for joining in today. As I scroll through the window, what I see is not any question that we have missed, I hope. Not really, but I think vlogging is something I would want you people to really do, because it's very important. And someone said how to do Skype-a-thon for pre-primary kids. Skype-a-thon for pre-primary kids could be as simple as what's your name and what's my name and body parts and what's the most popular, or what's your traditional dress, or what do you wear on your special days or festivals, or you could have an exchange over festivals. That's a good question, and yes, please do keep asking questions. You ask us questions and we are happy to answer. So that's one question answered. Any question that we have missed? Anybody? I know Shelly's around. Shelly, if you've got any, so just push it onto us so that we can find. I'm still trying to scroll through. And I know always with kindergarten teachers have been telling us.
Yeah, we'll do a session on Kahoot and Flipgrid. Yes, of course, it's in our list. So don't worry, we will do that. Wow, Ranjana, you created a great hashtag. You made us bloggers. That's nice. And one more tip I like to say: when you blog, please share it in our MI group. It's a great motivation for others, and we get to read yours. So please do share if you're writing or you're blogging. So please do share on social media, on our WhatsApp groups. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining.
ये स्पेल सुन लो और ये सुन लो, मेक सेंटेंस।